dear students. I hope all of you are well, healthy, and staying safe. I hope all of you are managing your time very well. Please try to be an early bird, always and always. Wake up early and go to bed early at night. Since you may have more free time nowadays, try to discover your talents, learn new things, especially new languages, and also use your time very wisely. Whenever you want to use your iPad or mobile, try to search for something useful, not just scrolling down. As you know, we will continue our learning process through the video recorded. So I hope to see everyone's participation by watching the videos and completing your homeworks on time. A quick note for all of you, please, whenever you feel that you don't understand something from the videos, pause the video, rewatch it again until you will get everything. Now let's get started with our first video. In this video, I'll explain chapter 10 operations with the fractions, and then lesson 4 and 5, which is about adding and subtracting mixed numbers. Before we studied how we can add or subtract the fractions. Fractions like 1 over 2, 3 over 4. These are fractions, but how about the mixed numbers? In the mixed numbers, we have a whole number. Let's say 3 and 1 over 2, 4 and 5 over 6. These are mixed numbers. So in this lesson, we will learn how we can add or subtract two mixed numbers. We have two examples about addition. This is the first one and this is the second one. The first one, 4 and 2 over 3 plus 2 and 1 over 5. As you can see that we have different denominators. So if we have different denominators for adding and subtracting mixed number or fraction, we cannot do it directly. We need to do some steps. What are the steps? Find a common denominator by multiplying these two denominators by each other. Then use the butterfly way for a new numerator. If we have a new denominator as well, we have to have a new numerator too. Then we have to add or subtract the numerators, it means the top number, and then rewrite the denominator. Then because we have mixed number, we have whole numbers, according to the question, we have to add them or subtract them, and then at the end, if we need to simplify our answer, we need to simplify it. So let's get started with our first example. 4 and 2 over 3 plus 2 and 1 over 5. 2 and 1 are numerators. 4 and 2 are whole numbers. 3 and 5 are denominators. So we said that we have to find a new denominator by multiplying these two together. 3 times 5. Then we need to find another numerator or a new numerator by using butterfly way. How we can use it? 2 times 5. Then because we have plus, we need to write plus. Then 1 times 3. 1 times 3. So this is our new part, numerator and denominator. How about the whole number? We have two whole numbers, 4 and 2. Because we have plus, so we will plus them. So 4 plus 2 is equal to 6. How about for our new numerator and denominator? 2 times 5 is 10. Then plus 1 times 3 is 3. Then 3 times 5 is equal to 15. We have to rewrite the whole number until the last step. Then 10 plus 3 is equal to 13. Then we will rewrite our denominator, which is 15. So 13 and 15, do we have a common factor between 13 and 15? No, we don't have it. So it means 6 and 13 over 15, it is the simplest answer. We don't need to simplify it. How about this example? 6 and 1 over 7 plus 3 and 1 over 2. Again, we have different denominators, so it means we need to find a common denominator between these two mixed numbers by multiplying these two together. 7 times 2. How about for our numerator? We said that we have to use butterfly way. How we can do it? 1 times 2. Then we have plus, rewrite it. Then 1 times 7. Okay, then let's solve the multiplication part. 1 times 2 is 2 plus 1 times 7 is 7. Then 7 times 2 is equal to 14. Then 2 plus 7 is equal to 9. Then rewrite the denominator. 9 over 14. Do we have a common denominator between 9 and 14? No, we don't have it. So it means we will leave it. And then let's do our whole part. 6 and 3. Because we have plus, so we will add them, which is equal to 9. So the answer is equal to 9 and 9 over 14. It's up to you which of these two ways you will use it. You will do everything together, the numerator, denominator, and the whole number together. Or you will do the fraction part as we did it until the end, until the simplest answer. Then you will do the whole part until you will get the last answer. So let's go to another 2 examples. Now let's have 2 examples about subtracting minus. 9 and 2 over 4 minus 7 and 2 over 8. Again, as you can see that we have different denominators. We said that if we have different denominators, we cannot add or subtract the fraction or the mixed numbers directly. We have to go to these rules. Do it step by step. The first thing this time, let's do the whole part. 9 minus 7. We have 9 and 7, and because the question is minus, we will rewrite the minus. And then for the numerator and denominator. For denominators, we say that we will multiply these two together. 4 times 8. Then for the numerator, we say that we have to use butterfly way. 2 times 8, 2 times 8. Then because we have minus, we will rewrite it. Then 2 times 4, 2 times 4. Now let's solve step by step. 9 minus 7 is equal to 2. Then 2 times 8 is equal to 16. Very good. I'm sure that you know that. Then 2 times 4 is equal to 8. Then 4 times 8 is equal to 32. Then we said that we will rewrite the whole number, which is equal to 2. Then 16 minus 8 is equal to 8. Then rewrite the denominator, which is equal to 32. Now, the last step, it says simplify if it needs. We have 2 and 8 over 32. We have to simplify the fraction part, 8 and 32. Do we have a common factor between 8 and 32? Yes, we have it. We have 8 as the greatest common factor, GCF, between 8 and 32. So let's divide it. Again, rewrite the whole number. Then 8 divided by 8 is equal to 1. Then 32 divided by 8 is equal to 4. So the simplest answer of this question is 2 and 1 over 4. Let's go to this Example. 10 and 2 over 3 minus 4 and 3 over 6. Again, we have 3 and 6. It means different denominators. This time, let's do the fraction part again until the last step. Then we will do the whole part. So, for the numerator, the top number, we said that we have to use the butterfly way. 2 times 6. Then we have what? Minus. Then 3 times 3. Then for the denominator, we just need to multiply these two denominators together. 3 times 6. Then let's solve the multiplication part. 2 times 6 is equal to 12. Then we have minus 3 times 3 is equal to 9. 3 times 6 is equal to 18. Good. Very good. Then rewrite the denominators, which is equal to 18. Then 12 minus 9 is equal to 3. Now think about this answer. 3 over 18. Do we have a common factor between 3 and 18? Yes, we have it. Think until I will write it. Which common factor do we have between 3 and 18? I'm sure that you know that, and you will say it is 3. Very good. So it means we need to divide both of them by 3. 3 divided by 3 is equal to 1. 18 divided by 3 is equal to 6. Now let's do the whole number part. We have 10 and 4. And we have which operation? Minus. 10 minus 4 is equal to 6. As we said that we need to rewrite it until the last step. So the simplest answer of this question is equal to 6 and 1 over 6. That's all for today's video. I hope everything is That's all for today's video. Please rewatch the video at least 2 or 3 times and also re-solve the questions. And if you did not get anything from the video, that's all for today's video. I hope everything will be clear. But please, if you did not get anything, please rewatch the video until you will get everything. Or if you have any question, please don't be hesitate. Ask me whenever you need it. Take care, stay safe, and see you in the next video.